Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Caitlin and today I'm going to be going over my top 10 essential items as a pole dancer. So I've done a video similar to this on my channel before, but that video was just my everyday top 10 essentials, and this one I'm going to be doing the same thing where I go over 10 essential items, but this one is all going to be focused around and related to pole dancing and what I need as a pole dancer. So the first item is probably pretty obvious if you are a pole dancer, but if you don't do pole dancing you might not know or you might not be aware, but the first essential item for me is shorts. These are my favorite pair of shorts. They're just a plain pair of black shorts, but they fit me really well and they're really comfortable to dance in. So there is actually a reason that pole dancers wear such like small and skimpy outfits and we wear shorts all the time, and that is because you need your skin open and available in order to be able to grip onto the pole and do certain moves on the pole. There are tricks and things that you can do with like leggings and long pants on, but that's mostly like either like low flow floor work or mostly upper body focused tricks, unless you specifically have a pair of sticky leggings. Otherwise you need the skin on your thighs and on the back of your knees and your shins in order to be able to do a lot of the tricks that we do as pole dancers. Okay, then the next essential item for me are therabands. So I use both the loops, so looped therabands, and the normal, just the normal ones. Both of these are very, very essential. I keep them in my pole bag all the time and I use them a lot during my warm-ups. So this long one is great for like arm warm-ups, also like stretching out the shoulders with it can be quite useful, and then this loop I like for activating my glutes and warming up my lower body a little bit and my legs a little bit before I start training. What's great about these therabands is you're not like lugging around weights in your pole bag, but they still provide like some resistance for you to warm up with. So if I'm like traveling, like if I'm going to the studio to train, or if I'm going to a competition and I need to warm up beforehand, or anything like I need to take my own equipment, my own things with me in my bag, these I will always have in there because they're so light, they're super like small and portable, and great for warming up. Then my next essential item really only applies because I have my Apple Watch, and because I have my Apple Watch I use this wrist guard like sweatband thing, and what I do is I literally just put it over my wrist like this, and then it covers my watch while I'm training, and I still get to like record my data and my heart rate for the workout or for the training session, but I don't have to worry about the pole scratching the face of my watch, or like the stickiness of like the band preventing my wrist from like moving around the pole if it needs to. So this is really helpful, but again also because I have the watch. Before I got my Apple Watch I was using a Fitbit, and I would sometimes use this but not as often, and my Fitbit screen got quite chipped from pole dancing, so now that I've got my Apple Watch I really don't want to have to get the screen replaced, so I always make sure to use this when I am training. So the next essential item for me is a tracksuit, or tracksuits in general. This is my favorite tracksuit at the moment because of its pretty purple color, but I always make sure to have at least a pair of tracksuit pants in my pole bag. I'll often have a tracksuit top in there as well, and I really like the matching sets just because they look cute, but it doesn't have to be a matching set. But the reason that I always carry like tracksuit with me, or I like find a tracksuit to be essential for pole dancing, is because since I'm dancing in shorts and a lot of the time it's very short shorts so that I can have enough grip on the pole. Especially if like it's colder, I don't want to be walking in and out of the studio or in and out of class in my shorts, so I'll just throw a tracksuit on top of my like sports bra and shorts and walk in like that. Or I'll go into class or go into training in a pair of leggings, but then and change into my shorts when I'm there. But then after class, it's always such a struggle to try and put leggings back on over like your sweaty legs, and if you've used like grip aid on your legs, it can really be a mission. So then I always just prefer to have a pair of tracksuit pants that I can easily like slip on over my shorts to go home in. So the next essential item for me is pole heels. So these are my pleaser boots. I love these a lot. I've worn them to death. They are pretty like scuffed up now, especially from the flooring that we have in our home studio is really not very kind on the pleasers. And then also the toe protectors on these are also like another pretty essential component to prevent the toe from getting scuffed, usually because that's the first thing that will get scuffed. So if you wear the toe protectors, it keeps the shoe looking nice and new and in good condition for a lot longer. These will probably not be an essential item when you first start off with pole dancing. I know a lot of pole dancers who like see these like giant, these are I think 7-inch heels when they first start, and they're like, no, I'll never do that, I'll never wear the heels. But it really is so much fun to dance with and to dance in, and now I definitely consider them an essential item. I love dancing in these, I love choreographing in these and wearing these, and they are just a lot of fun. Then next up are all my grip products. These are like 3 separate things, but they're all for grip and helping grip on the pole, so I'll put them all in the same category under one number, otherwise I'm going to have more than 10. First up is Infinity Grip. So this is the liquid chalk, the grip aid that I use to help me grip on pole. I pretty much use this every single practice at the moment. I was like a couple of months ago, before last year I would say, I wasn't using grip aid as much. I was pretty much only using it for showcases and competitions, so when I was performing on stage. But with training at home a lot more with lockdown, our pole at home is very, very slippery for some reason. So I find that I really do need the Infinity Grip just to get through a training session, be able to stay on the pole. But I have been trying to use it a bit less, because I find that if I use too much grip aid too often, then my like hands kind of get dependent on it, and I don't have as much like grip strength. I'm not like developing the proper grip strength in my hand to stay on, like, despite the slipping. And then also I find that if I don't use it so much in training or in class, then when it comes to competitions, when I do use it, I feel like extra grippy, and it gives me that extra security knowing that I trained and did the routine without the grip aid before the competition. So with the grip aid, then that's just that extra layer of confidence. Then next is my meths or rubbing alcohol. This is rubbing alcohol at the moment, but I also do use meths sometime, and this is to wipe down the pole in between combos and tricks and moves, and to take all the sweat and the like slipperiness off the pole. And I also have started using this on my hands. So what I'll do is I will just pour a little bit into my hands, rub it onto my hands, let that dry down, and then put my Infinity Grip on top of it, and that really helps with my grip. And then the third thing is shaving cream. This is a bit of a weird one. People are always like a little bit shocked or when they find out that I use shaving cream as a grip product. It's actually pretty common. I learned it from another pole dancer when I was training for one of my competitions. She recommended it, and it works really, really well. Not for hand grip, I would never put this on my hands, but for grip on like the thighs and the shins, and possibly like the elbows as well, it works pretty well. It the thing with pole is you need like the right level of moisture in your skin. It can't be like super sweaty and moist, because otherwise it'll slip straight off the pole, but it can't be too dry either, otherwise you won't stick as well. So the shaving cream kind of provides a nice balance. It gives your skin like a nice bit of tackiness, and when I was training for Worlds, we were on brass poles, and the shaving cream really helps with brass poles. I found it to work really well for that. So I don't use it often. It's mostly just for competitions, especially if there is a brass pole at the competition, that I'll use it, but it is definitely essential during those times. Then my next essential item is actually pretty closely related to that previous one of the grip products, and that is my hand cream. This is just one from Lush, but pretty much any one will work. And this is super important, because after a training session where I've used a lot of alcohol, rubbing alcohol and Infinity Grip on my hands will be super dry, and they'll feel really uncomfortable with how like dry they can be. So I keep hand cream with me, or I try to remember to keep hand cream with me in my training bag, so that I can put on wash my hands and put hand cream on straight after I finish training, so that I don't have to sit with that like super dry uncomfortable feeling on my hands. Then next up is my assortment of like foam roller and peanut products. I have a lot of these. I have in a couple different ones that I keep in my room to use every evening. I have a couple of like tennis balls and massage balls that I keep in my pole bag that travel with me everywhere. I have a couple at in our training room at home that stay there for when I'm training. These are super essential. So peanuts and foam rollers, I use them all. Foam rollers, these are really great for training. I'll like be able to roll out my muscles and just warm them up a little bit before training. I always take a foam roller to competitions to help me with my warm up for competitions. And then the peanuts and these little massage balls, or you could use like a tennis ball. These are really great for getting into like smaller knots and doing some like active release in some of like the tight muscles and tight areas. And this is just like a bigger peanut. It's kind of like halfway in between a peanut and a foam roller, and I really like this one in particular for just running up and down my back along my spine, because it has like the groove for my spine to sit in, so I can really get into the muscles on either side of my back without like digging into my spine. So these are all super essential for warming up, for cooling down, for using every evening before bed on my very tight muscles. Could not live without these, basically. Then on the topic of tight and aching muscles, the next essential item is this arnica oil. This one is a soil one, and it's blended with some other like I think essential oils and stuff in there. It smells really nice because of the essential oils. I'm not sure how much they actually do to like aid in the like muscle soreness or recovery or anything, but and a plain arnica oil works just as well, but this is the one that I have at the moment. This is really great for sore tight muscles, rubbing it on there, but it's also really great for bruises. Pole dancers get a lot of bruises. It gets better as you kind of continue like dancing, and as your body gets used to the tricks and certain moves that might give you bruises, but there's usually always something new and something different that you can do that will give you a bruise in a random place. Most of the time, like, I don't really mind the bruises. Sometimes they'll be a little bit sore and I'll put some arnica on them. Most of the time they're fine, unless it's before a competition. I usually don't want to be all like battered and bruised before a competition, but training for a competition is likely to get me the most bruises, so I'll often put some arnica oil on those bruises, firstly just to help with training so that I it helps when I'm training the same moves over and over again on top of bruises that I already have. It helps with that, and then also to try and kind of like reduce the bruises appearance and diminish that, so that when I go on stage that I don't have these huge ugly bruises everywhere. Okay, and then I think I'm on the last item now, and this is leg warmers slash socks slash basically anything to help me slide around on the floor. There's a lot of pole choreography that you need some like ability to move and slide around on the floor, especially if it's like more floor work based. The exotic stuff uses it, uses like sliding around quite a lot, so it's quite important. So making sure to have like socks and leg warmers. Leg warmers I usually use if I need to like slide around on my knees, and then socks obviously like for my feet to be able to slide around. A lot of pole dancers will also highly recommend knee pads. When I started off doing pole, I used knee pads quite a lot for quite a lot of my dance classes that I was taking and that I was doing, but I don't actually really ever use knee pads anymore. Those leg warmers are quite thick, so they do provide some padding, or I'll like, if I'm dancing in leggings and doing floor work in leggings, then that's a lot thinner. And sliding around and some of the tricks that you do with the floor work can really batter and bruise your knees, and it can be quite painful without knee pads. But I've been trying to not use knee pads basically as much as possible, and I haven't used them in the past, I would say like year and a half, in order to just like train my knees up and get them used to not having knee pads, so that when I'm like on stage or doing a competition, I don't have to feel like I have to use knee pads, because often I feel like it can kind of like ruin the look and the aesthetic of a particular like outfit. If you have like this really nice outfit and then all of a sudden you have like these random like knee pads on, they do make quite like nice nude ones, but still I've made kind of the decision to try and avoid using knee pads as much as possible. So I just use like these leg warmers if I really need to, and then socks as well for sliding around on the floor. And that pretty much brings us to the end of my top 10 essential items for pole dancing. If you are a pole dancer and you have any other essential items, please let me know in the comments below. I would love to know what you think is essential and if I missed anything out from this list. I tried to be as comprehensive as possible as I could possibly be within just 10 items. And please like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos in the future. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!